for everybody to do 84 asanas. If they do one, it is enough. If you can sit in a posture, stable and comfortable for 2.5 hours, then we say you have attained to asana siddhi. People have put in enormous amount of sadhana. There are such dimensions, it is not that they don't exist. There are such dimensions through which you can do certain things. Siddhi means a certain accomplishment. There is somebody, if you go to the circus, there is somebody who can juggle 10 balls. It's a kind of accomplishment. Can you do it? You can't do 2. 1 also probably you can't hold properly. 10 balls. Magic it is, but it's not magic. It's a certain accomplishment of the body, isn't it? Similarly, there can be certain accomplishments of the mind, certain accomplishments of certain other aspects of the mind. Now somebody can predict, foresee somebody's future, somebody can say something else. It has no consequence. Somebody can heal somebody's disease, it doesn't mean anything. In terms of existential life, it doesn't mean anything. These are all immature things that you're doing because you haven't found the depth. See, for example, in the yoga center where we are, people have put in enormous amount of sadhana. If I allow some of these people to heal people, they will do miraculous healings. If I allow them to predict people's future, they will do a good job. Or if I sit down in Chicago and start predicting people's future, there'll be a huge crowd because I will tell you exactly what will happen, and it will happen. But what consequence is it in terms of life? It's of no consequence. If they do anything like that in the ashram, we not only check them out of the ashram, I will ensure that for his lifetime, he will never know any spirituality, he will be fixed. So before we put them into the sadhana itself, we make it clear, if they ever use these things on anybody, they had it. Because it's a very juvenile and immature act to do such things. These are all sideshows. Now, people keep coming and asking me, but if I go there to that Swami, he does so much miracle, he'll pull out a lingam from his mouth, he will… I don't know from where else, all these things. You don't do any miracles. I tell them, look at the miracle around here. I can show you people who are here who did not get angry for the last 1 year. Very busy people, intensely active, handling hundreds of people, but they didn't get angry for 1 whole year. This is a miracle. This is a miracle that's needed in the world right now. Without a single feeling of hatred, without a single feeling of what about me, they're just doing something. This is a miracle we want to see. You produce this, you produce that, what's the point? We have technology to do all that nonsense, isn't it? Yes, which is doing it more effectively. Somebody produces a watch, somebody produces a lingam, somebody produces something else. What are you going to do with these things? The true miracle that is necessary is human being who is capable of living like an animal, if he is in awareness, if he becomes gentle and beautiful, if he can go through life untouched, if he can go through life spreading around him a pleasantness, you put him in any kind of unpleasant situation, he doesn't become unpleasant, he goes through it pleasantly. This is the miracle we want to see in a human being right now. That's what is needed for the world, isn't it? This is transformation. So, somebody does this, that, it's of no consequence to me. I do not value that in any way. If you want to do this, that, I would rather depend on science and technology, which is much more effective. There are such dimensions, it is not that they don't exist. There are such dimensions through which you can do certain things. But what is the point spending a lifetime getting there? It's not worthwhile. So, don't expect them to be wise. Only because they are not wise, they went after it.
So these 84 asanas, which are the fundamental yogasanas, are 84 ways to make the body into a passage. It is not necessary, actually, for everybody to do 84 asanas. If they do one, it is enough. Usually Hatha Yogis, serious Hatha Yogis who are taking Hatha Yoga as their path to liberation, practice only one asana, just one asana. It is difficult for a thinking mind to understand why would somebody spend his whole life trying to sit in a particular way. But if you learn to sit right, if you just learn to hold your body right, everything that you need to know in this universe you can know. Because this is known as asana siddhi. If you can sit in a posture, stable and comfortable for 2.5 hours, then we say you have attained to asana siddhi, that you are in absolute comfort and at ease in a particular posture. That is asana siddhi. If you achieve this, everything that you need to know, one can know internally. How is this possible? How can by sitting you can know everything that you can know? If you have a television at home, television is just a box with a little bit of electronics in it. But it becomes a world by itself. The whole world can stream into this place that we call as a television, or this box that we call as a television, simply because there is a receiving mode. If you set the antenna right, if it is properly adjusted, then the whole world flows into your place or into this box. If it is not set right, same instrument, it has everything but can't do anything. This is how human being is. A human being is, an individual human being is who he is only because of what he perceives. Only because of what he or she perceives, an individual human being becomes whoever they are. Right now, you are who you are only because of whatever you have perceived in your life till now. And you will be who you will be only because of what you will perceive in future. Whatever you perceive is what makes you whatever you are today. So, the whole system of yoga is only interested in enhancing perception. So if you hold the posture right, if your alignment is right, and if it matches with the cosmic alignment in some way, 84 alignments, if one gets into these 84 postures or even masters a single posture and approaches the remaining 83 through that, then everything that has happened in the creation till this moment, one can know, because the memory of that is right here within your system. In a, let us say in a codified way, it can be activated and ignited if it touches another dimension outside of yourself. So asanas are powerful means, yogasanas are powerful means to connect. I do not want you to forget what yoga means. Yoga means union. Union means two have become one. Two is just this, there are only two in the existence, you and the rest of the existence. In the rest of the existence, you may identify this one, that one, that one, but essentially there are only two, you and the rest of the existence, because there are only two dimensions of experience within you. You do not know what is up and down in this cosmos. You do not know what is forward and backward in this cosmos. You do not know anything, these are all things that we have made up for convenience. The only experiential reality is there is something called outward and there is something called inward. So these are the two dimensions of experience, inner and outer. So yoga means to bring a union between these, inner and outer, you and the rest, you and the other. When there is no you and the other, there is just you and you. That is yoga. So asanas are a physical manifestation of approaching this, a physical form of approaching this ultimate union, because physical body is the easiest thing to work with. If you try to do something with your mind, it will play too many tricks. At least with the body, you know whether it's doing it right or not doing it right, whether it's cooperating or not cooperating. A mind, if you push it too hard, it will play all kinds of tricks with you. It will make you believe all kinds of things and dump you the next day. But body is not like that. It is a reliable factor. If you work with it sensibly, the yogasanas will definitely lead to the possibility of ultimate union. In the meantime, by getting into the postures, before all this alignment with the ultimate happens, inner alignment happens, which will naturally achieve a chemistry of healthfulness, joyfulness and blissfulness, and above all, balance. Balance is something that modern societies have ignored and they're paying a huge price for today. Whatever may be your intelligence, whatever may be your competence and education and qualifications, if you do not have the necessary balance, you will not succeed, you will not go very far in your life. So, the most important thing for people who are seeking to be successful, people whether they're working in corporate sector or they're political or they're military or whatever field, the most important thing is balance. Only if you have a balance which is not disturbed by external situations, will you be capable of making use of the competence and intelligence that you carry within you. Otherwise, the most wonderful qualities that one may have will all go waste simply because of lack of balance. And Hatha Yoga means balance.
நல்லார்க்கும் பொல்லார்க்கும் நடுநின்ற ஞானிகட்கும் வல்லார்க்கும் வரமளித்த வாழ்வே என் சத்குருவே. கண்ணே கருத்தே கருத்திலுறும் நற்கணியே, விண்ணே ஒளியில் நின்ற விடைவே